Hi friends, welcome back to my epic 2-week Europe trip. If you haven't been following, last we left off, we travelled to Paris and Switzerland for the first time. This will be the first part of our Italy trip featuring our time in Venice. In this vlog, we'll be exploring the beautiful city, seeing historical landmarks, and trying lots of delicious Italian food. Of course, we'll be taking a gondola ride along the iconic canals. Alright, let's jump right in. Our journey begins after wrapping up in Zurich, Switzerland and boarding the train to Italy. The ride was about 6 hours long, and after a few naps, we're here in a whole new country. We're staying at Hotel Delfino, a hotel located in Majer, a mainland district of Venice. We chose this hotel mainly due to its affordability and proximity to public transport, with only a 10-minute bus ride to and from Venice. The hotel was rated 4 stars, but to our disappointment, it didn't really feel like it. It was quite musty in the room, and the bathroom had a bit of odor, maybe due to the building being old. For the price, I guess you can't really complain. After quickly dropping off our luggage at the hotel, we made our way into Venice. As we slowly made our way towards the Rialto Bridge, we took in the beautiful sight and stunning architecture of Venice. Because of the gloomy weather, Venice didn't look as colorful and vibrant as I thought it would be. Nevertheless, it's amazing to think that I can visit this floating city with a long history dating all the way back to the 5th century AD. Feeling a bit hungry, we stopped by this cafe for a slice of focaccia and a cup of coffee. I never had artichoke focaccia before, but to my surprise, it was actually really yummy. The cappuccino was equally as good, but I was surprised at how small it was. The focaccia was super cheesy and the bread was so soft. It definitely hit the spot. There are so many different laneways all throughout the city. It feels like I'm walking through a maze. Every so often, we get this beautiful view of the canal as we walk on a bridge to cross the other side. There are lots of different types of unique architecture style here, from Venetian Gothics to Byzantine architecture. For how old these buildings are, it looked so well preserved. After the nice afternoon stroll and a light snack along the way, we finally arrived in one of the main bustling areas of Venice, the Rialto area. It's full of shops and restaurants alongside the Grand Canal. As you cross the Rialto Bridge, you'll get this captivating view of Venice. It looked like something you would see on a postcard. If you're a Marvel fan, you might know that Spider-Man Far From Home was filmed in Venice, and a major scene takes place on this very bridge.
I'm here at the bridge and it's so crowded, so many people. If you want to get the best spot, I recommend going on the stair, but not at the top because everyone's there, so it's hard to actually take a good photo.
After trying to fight my way through the crowds for a nice photo at Rialto Bridge, it was time for dinner. We decided to try out this Italian restaurant famous for their vast pizza menu. To celebrate our first night in Venice, I decided to get one of my favorite drinks, Aperol Spritz. It was quite strong compared to the ones back home. Despite the restaurant being famous for pizza, we weren't feeling like pizza just yet. So we decided to order a starter and a main to share. The main portion was smaller than we expected, but since we weren't too hungry, we didn't mind. the start of the meal, we were served a free bread basket. It tasted pretty good, especially when drizzled with olive oil and balsamic vinegar. I like to sprinkle some cheese on top as well. The buffalo mozzarella in Italy is on a different level. It's so rich and creamy. It tasted so amazing when paired with fresh tomatoes. The spaghetti was also pretty good, but it wasn't anything special. The dishes were delicious. I would recommend it if you were looking for some authentic Italian restaurant at an affordable price in Venice. After dinner, this nearby bakery caught our attention, so we decided to pick up some dessert here. I wanted to try the tiramisu, but since it's sold out, we went for a cannoli instead. I'm normally not a big fan of cannoli, but this one was so different. The pastry was so fresh and crunchy, and the amount of filling was perfect, not too heavy or overbearing. Since we started our day in Venice late, it's already evening time. Time to catch the bus back to our hotel and rest for the night. Just opposite to our hotel, there is a massive supermarket and McDonald's. It looked quite interesting, so we decided to check out what souvenirs and snack we could get. I love visiting different supermarkets in each country I go to. It's pretty cool to see what they sell and how different their products are. They sell lots of different types of pastas and cured meats. Maybe I would buy some to try later. You can pick up a few souvenirs like truffle salt and olive oil here. I decided to purchase a few more desserts to eat tonight. This is actually a pretty cool idea, placing products in between the gaps of the escalator. The upper levels sell fresh desserts and a variety of cheeses as well as some interesting sweets, like this candy sushi and hamburger. Honestly, I was tempted to buy them because the packaging looked so cute. Good morning, it's our second day here in Venice. Unfortunately, the weather is still gloomy today. Hopefully it clears up as the day goes on. Before we start exploring Venice, let's grab some coffee to wake up. We started our day at Cafe de Doge, a renowned specialty coffee bar famous for their high quality and artisan roasted coffees. Even though it's pretty early in the morning, the cafe is already quite full. I got a hot cappuccino and tiramisu to try. It's probably not the most responsible thing to eat for breakfast, but I just couldn't resist getting it. It looked so good. It tasted as good as it looked. It was maybe even the best tiramisu I had in my life. The flavor was so well balanced and it paired really well with the coffee. After breakfast, it was time to embark on our full day in Venice. Venice is a city built on a group of 118 small islands connected by bridges and separated by canals. Most of the islands can only be accessed via water taxi, ferries, or gondola. Contrary to my hope, it doesn't seem like the rain will go away anytime soon. The ferry can be taken from the pier with fares starting from €9.50 for 75 minutes of ferry service or €25 for the entire day. You can also purchase ferry tickets in packages with other transport if you're visiting Venice as a day trip. Walking along the main canal, we spotted the Basilica S.Maria della Salute, a 17th century Baroque church in Venice. The church is known for its grand dome and prominent location at the entrance of the Grand Canal. Due to the rainy weather, some parts of Venice were starting to flood. Before we head off to visit some of the famous landmarks in Venice, I stopped by a street vendor and picked up a pistachio cannoli to snack on. I had really high hopes after yesterday, but this one was nowhere near as good as the one we had. After a short walk, we made it to Piazza San Marco, Venice's most famous square, home to iconic landmarks like St. Mark's Basilica, the Campanile, and the Doge's Palace, showcasing the stunning Byzantine architecture and centuries of history. Unfortunately, since we didn't reserve tickets to visit Doge's Palace, we weren't able to go inside as they were fully booked. But from the exterior, it's already extremely impressive, from the intricate carvings and statues to the beautiful marble finish. Feeling a bit exhausted from the rain, we wanted to stop by the famous Cafe Florian. Established in 1720, this is the oldest continuously operating cafe in Venice. The line was quite long and we had already booked a gondola ride for this afternoon, so we decided to head straight to lunch instead. It was such a shame as the cafe is gorgeous. We're here at Birraria La Corte, a popular pizzeria and restaurant in Venice for lunch. This is a great spot for enjoying authentic Italian cuisine. Famous for their delicious wooden fire pizzas and wild selection of craft beers, we were super keen to try some ourselves. I love the cozy and charming vibe of this restaurant. It feels really fancy. To start off, we were given again some breadsticks and bread with olive oil. It's actually a pretty nice starter since the olive oil here is so good. We ordered a grilled squid and Parma ham pizza topped with rockets and a giant burrata cheese on top. I'm so excited to dig in. Creamy and rich this burrata cheese is. This turned out to be one of the best pieces I had so far. It had so many toppings and a crispy wooden fired base. I'm so glad that we found this spot to try Italian pizza. Thank God we didn't order too much as the pizza was very filling. To end our meal, we got another cup of coffee for dessert. After lunch, we decided to visit Basilica Santa Maria Gloriosa di Frari, the largest church in the city. The entrance cost €5. The church is filled with impressive Gothic architecture and some impressive artwork and statues. It was definitely less popular and quieter compared to the other landmarks in the city. It is a lovely church, but I don't think this is a must-visit spot. As the afternoon approaches, so does our time to join the gondola ride and walking tour. We were a little bit worried that it would be cancelled since all of a sudden it started to rain heavily. But luckily, despite the downpour, the show went on. So we hopped onto the gondola and off we went. At the front of each gondola is a unique metal ornament called a pharaoh, which not only symbolizes the 6 districts of Venice, but also help balance the boat. The ride lasted around 10 minutes. It was a really serene and romantic experience despite the rain trying to spoil the moment. The ride got a little wild once we made it into the main canal, as the boat was swaying so much. After our short but thrilling ride in the main canal, we arrived back to our starting point. As part of the walking tour that came with this gondola ride package, we were taken to this small museum to learn more about the importance of gondolas and the city of Venice. Looking for an indoor spot to stay dry, we stopped by the DFS department store. Unlike most DFS department stores around the world, this luxury department store is located in a historical 13th century building. Definitely worth visiting just to see the beautiful architectural design. On a good day, it's worth visiting the rooftop terrace. It offers a really beautiful view of Venice skyline. Here you can find a range of popular souvenir items to bring home. In Italy is complete without trying gelato. So we headed next door to Suso, a popular gelato shop here in Venice, and after tasting it, I can tell why it's so popular. There were so many unique flavors to choose from. After a short deliberation, we went with pistachio and toffee caramel. The flavors were strong with a creamy and thick texture. Surprisingly, it's not extremely sweet. For our last meal in Venice, we ate at a spot by one of the larger canals near the entrance called Rio Novo. We were lucky enough to get a spot by the canal, so the ambience was quite nice, with live music from street buskers as well. We ordered the seafood pasta and fried baby squid. The food was okay, but definitely not the best. The dry squid was a bit soggy and the pasta was quite bland. I would recommend staying away from the restaurants along the canals, as I heard that they were a bit of a tourist trap. And this meal kinda confirmed it. That brings us to the end of our time in Venice. Although it was a bit rainy and gloomy, it was still an amazing experience with good food, lots of history and romantic vibes. Our adventure continues again at the cornerstone of the Tuscany region. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now!